This is Let's Talk Big, the big read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel. The Owens Community College Campus Big Read is taking place now and throughout the semester, with the goal of bringing awareness of different perspectives through books. The Campus Read book is A Little Less Broken, How an Autism Diagnosis Finally Made Me Whole by Marian Shambari. It's the story of one woman's decades-long journey to a diagnosis of autism and the barriers that keep too many neurodivergent people from knowing their true selves. Now, sharing passages, topics, and events related to the book are Director of Library Services, Jane Berger, and Professor of English, Jen Hazel.
Welcome to Let's Talk Big. I'm Jen Hazel, and my partner in crime is with me, Jane Berger. And we have today Ann Sergent, the Assistant Dean of the School of Liberal Arts. Welcome, Ann.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Jane,
Yes.
passage time.
I happen to have one. Alrighty. In the autistic community, this behavior is called masking. Masking is the act of suppressing your natural instincts and replacing them with learned, often rehearsed behaviors so you can fit in. Which makes sense now, looking back on those months I spent wearing Amy's clothes and reading her journal. Hearing stories from other autistic women has helped me forgive college Marian for all the ways she tried to mend her brokenness. I didn't trust myself to be interesting or lovable on my own. I assumed the things that made a person worthy were external, like blue boots and sugary perfume, or the number of people who stopped by my dorm room after class. For some autistics, masking works. It allows us to belong to a community, which is apparently our most ancient impulse. From Psychology 101 to self-help books, we hear one message more than any other. Humans are social creatures. We're not meant to go through life alone. One article I read in Psychology Today said it best. Our social network is the most profound predictor of our health and well-being. But what if friendship isn't your natural instinct? What if, no matter how hard you try, people just don't like the real you? This breaks my heart.
I thought it was really interesting, though. Almost conflicting for her, right? So some validation to why she did the things she did, but at the same time, there's still this push, you should have this friend group and you should act a certain way, and so I think that was probably tough as well for her.
Oh, sure. I mean, this goes back to when she, was young, and her mom, wanted her to have friends and wanted her to be like her siblings, and you can only hear that so much before you really kind of embrace that and think, okay, well, I guess this is what I should want. This is what I should want to do. This is how I should want to behave. And it's not, like, she said, it's not natural for her to want those things.
Yeah, what I find super heartbreaking is how she's like, she in her mind doesn't even know the difference. Like, I thought it was based on, we like people based on their boots and things like that. Yep. That it took her like a while to be like, oh, wait, it's personality. And she does find people who care about her. It just takes time.
It takes time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I think some maturity on her part too, to just stop hearing in her head what others are saying and get comfortable with.
Well, and how many of us do that, right?
Right.
I was thinking about that too as I've been reading the book, and some of the things that she felt terrible about, like trying to, hide these things. And I think, we all do some of that, right? You want to fit in so bad that you want to wear the right clothes and you want to say the right thing, or the idea that she talked about, like having I think it was like the Guess Who game or flip book or whatever, like picking the person she kind of, that would fit into the right situation. And as I was reading, I thought, I feel like, we all do that to a certain point. Like, I'm going to be a little bit different amongst my best friend than I am around a group of people who are just maybe, say, acquaintances. Like, it makes me sad though that she doesn't, at that time she didn't realize that, like, that happens to all of us.
Yeah. One of my kids' middle school teachers, I loved her because middle school kids, they're just animals of their own. Yeah. And she said that she had so many people telling her I just can't believe you love to work with this age group. They're just so difficult. They're this, they're that. And she said, oh no, she says, I love them because I never know who I'm going to get, because every day they look in the mirror and they see a different version of themselves, and that's who they bring to school. And she said they're trying to figure out who they are and where they fit in.
Yep.
And that came to mind in reading this. Like, you know, in some ways, we all, like you said, we go through this and trying to figure it out. That part is, I hate to use the word, you know, normal, but that's just part of growing and maturing. Yeah. But for her, it wasn't the natural part of growing. Yeah. You know, I wonder if she really liked COVID, where
everyone was.
Yeah. Okay, let's all stay
away.
No
one was talking.
Yeah, let's just all stay away.
And thinking about this, though, too, it's like, notice the time. This is like college, Marion, and what you were describing was like junior high or middle school area. So it's taken her some time to kind of, do you know what I mean? Like, get to a point where she's like, okay, so what's not working here? Yep. But how insightful to be able to be like, what's not working? And really, her college friend was her friend anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
she just didn't realize that she was so worried about wanting to fit in. And
right. But she had been programmed that way.
Yeah.
Right. And right, because like even thinking about her mom and her parents, when her mom was talking to the au pair.
Right.
Yeah, and she heard that.
I'd love to have a daughter like you.
Right. Like, oh, so my daughter isn't actually good enough because she's different.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think some of what's super interesting too is thinking about how she's like, she is more thoughtful, I think, in some ways with her masking than I think in the way that I've heard other people describe it. Like, I've heard other people describe it as they didn't even know they were doing it, and she is like looking back on, like, do you know what I mean? Even in the moment,
she knows she's doing it.
Yeah,
because she wants to.
She
wants to be able to be that person.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because I think for her, the masking is actually quite difficult, and for some individuals, they talk about it being much more natural, like they're doing it and not even knowing about
exactly.
that.
Yep.
Or when I've seen people say things on TikTok too, it's like once they become aware of the fact that they're autistic, and this is someone later as an adult being diagnosed, then they're like, wait a second. Then they start to examine the behavior and they see what they've done, and they're like, I don't even know what I like because I like whoever I'm with, what they like.
Whatever that person.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting that she is more self-aware than some of what I've seen. I'm sure there's other people that are that self-aware too, but
they just didn't write a book about it.
Exactly. No, they made a TikTok instead.
There we go. Right. Exactly.
But yeah, and just from what I've seen, so I think that is something that's really, really interesting. Is her reflective part on that.
Agreed.
Yeah, and actually, one of my students in my honors class recently, they wrote their final paper on this book, and one of the things they talked about was how in the first section, and I think this goes to her like self-awareness, she already knew she was autistic before she was diagnosed, in the way in which she like was like, I was waiting for it to come. So once it was like this became on her radar, she was like, oh, well, that's what fits. But it wasn't on her radar because how did we, and we've had plenty of people in here to talk about this, how have we viewed people right, like that would have been even her like age.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even she talks about later when she gets mad at her daughter, right? She throws the plate or whatever, and you know, she's very upset about it. And she said, even though people tell me that's, you know, quote unquote normal, whatever that means, right? She still didn't feel like it was. You know, all the trauma, I think, from like her mom and all of that really has stuck with her. To make her not feel like she can be herself. Like it's okay for her, whether she is autistic or not, it's okay to have bad days and stuff. But I think she really struggles, even as she, you know, became a mom, that she struggled with it.
Well, I think that's probably for her. on some level, she's like, because your children often can be reflections of you. And I think for some reason she's like, and I don't know that she totally talks about this, but it's like, it's probably a level of like, well, I don't want her to struggle in the same way I felt I struggled. And so then when she does do something, oh my gosh, am I going to set her to be?
Right.
Yes. Similar with that. And I think as parents, we think about that. I think about that
always.
a lot.
I did.
Yeah.
Always. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, so absolutely. But thank you so much, Ann. We are
very welcome.
out of time today. But all of you out here, we will want you to keep talking big. This is Jen Hazel, Jane Berger, and Ann Sergent. Thank you.
This has been Let's Talk Big. Catch Let's Talk Big anytime on the RSS feed or the Owens OutComm Plus YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Join us again for Let's Talk Big, the big read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel.